Let's do another question before we go from Slayer Panda, who always loves to drop us questions in the Discord. I want to hear your most effective GMing trick that you have either learned or used or anything over the years. What do you think your most what do you do as a GM that you think it could be? This is a very open question, right? Just most effective GM trick. You can interpret what effective means, what trick means, what most means.
Let's lay some ground rules for that, right? Like
okay.
What are we talking about when we say GM trick? Like what are we trying to accomplish as a GM?
I think you're trying to accomplish something. So like I don't think we should
story?
Sure. I don't think we should restrict that in this question. I think if there's something that you routinely try to accomplish and there's a way that you go about doing it, tell us.
I have two things.
Okay. Hit us.
Number one, blatantly rip off things I like. I will just take entire books and replace the names with the PCs and try to ram them through the book's plot. Now, of course, it doesn't always go that way, right? I mean, and it goes off the rails pretty quick, but that's often how I get started. And then I think I learned this one from Cliff. When I can't think of something, I'll just ask the players, like, so what do you think about that? Or something to the effect of, oh, yeah, so what, explain how your character does that. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's fantastic. Like it kind of throws the narration back to the PCs. I remember it's like teachers back in school, when they didn't know the answer, they would like smugly say, who knows the answer to that one? And I finally caught on, it's because you don't know the answer to that one. You're waiting for something that sounds reasonable to hop onto. Right? So those are the two things.
I like your idea of that you brought up, just blatant, like straight out ripping off books or stuff. I did a whole Shadowrun campaign that was basically the plot of Dollhouse. And the
evil hero Magento.
Yeah. Right.
He wields the earth forces of pinkish red. Right.
Right. What about Oz or Cliff? It seems like Oz, you had something in mind because you were trying to like.
That's the thing. I was trying to narrow it down because I'm like, I think there's a couple of things.
What about you, Cliff?
Well, GM trick. It sounds like it should be something a little bit cheesy, designed to maybe shrug off some of the work and look like you're doing more than you really are.
You're focusing on the word trick here. I like this.
So that's how I'm going to interpret it here. And my most effective GM trick is to get your players to take the notes for you. And some sort of a Google Doc or something like Earthdawn has it baked in where characters get an experience point and money bonus for turning their journals. But but whatever campaign, even if you have to hand out experience points to do it, get your players to take notes for you that you can access as well and look up, because not only will you get reminders for stuff you'd forgotten about, you have someone who's taking notes while you can focus on the big picture of running the game. It's a good source of inspiration, and you also get to see what the players noticed and found most important. And sometimes that's always very telling to see, getting a better picture of what your players' lens is focused on. It's a great tool for that. Yeah. But mostly helping me keep track of stuff I would otherwise forget.
Yeah. For my effective GM trick, I come from a film background. So I like to, as I'm GMing and I'm hearing the story, I like to think of things cinematically. And that helps me, as I'm paying attention, figure out, okay, this is where the scene would end. And I just cut the scene and I say, no, done. That's a great place to stop. And then I'll fast forward to somewhere else so that we can get the story moving. sometimes like when I see something that has a lot of potential, I'll ask driving questions, kind of like what Opti was saying, to stretch out a scene a little longer, to like encourage some role play. And I'll even like add visual details or sensory details to something that like I like what the player is saying, but I want to add on to it to like give it some extra meat and give it a real feel and atmosphere. I really enjoy creating atmosphere and having the story just pace in a certain way. So like that's probably it's not a trick. It's not like an easy one-off, right? It takes some training, I think. But if you start thinking of everything as a movie, it starts becoming, maybe you start figuring out like where the scene would naturally cut, or where the scene would naturally start to be the most interesting and most engaging as you move forward.